Hi, you back home after PT, and UPSC has remained the same. It hasn't changed much this year also. Well, the question, if I look around and then see and try using my experience of so many years, I every time get surprised when it comes to PT. My surprise never ceases to exist. UPSC reinvents itself, and it reinvents for all levels, but at PT level, it reinvents so quickly that probably nobody can even predict what is going to happen next year. This year also, the question has been broad frame, if I say, broad frame has remained the same. The question has been a mix of moderate as well as difficult. But if I tried looking into the trend as it has evolved over 3 years, if I could possibly show a graphical representation, of course, you understand it doesn't really hold much ground from the perspective of the fact that the classification as history questions or current affair question or environment question or geography question is so fluid, the questions keep moving from one compartment to another. So if I look into the 3 years comparison, you can possibly see that 2020, 21 and 22, all these 3 years, the questions have been like moderately shifting in their band. I mean, this is a very academic interpretation of the whole thing. I would like to tell you more about the specifics. If you go for the classification, I would imagine division across the subject for this year, 2022, you'd find polity 13%, 12% is what you have as geography, 14% is history. But these are all percentages. I must tell you that there's so much, I would say, mixing with each other. I mean, it can't be really very sure that I can say that current affair is that many percent and current affair is only that many percent. They're quite possible that some of the questions which I may have counted as current affair, somebody may have counted that as a question of economy. So this is not something which we should be really bothered too much about. What I'm interested in talking to you about is cutoff is not something which is going to be drastically reducing as it has been reducing as we've been seeing in the past 3 years. I would imagine also that the length of the question appears on the surface is long. Like in some places, it looked like it's very lengthy, but actually, I would say that it's not so lengthy because there are some questions where it has really gone, I would say, like one-word definitional questions like economy, conceptual questions that you had. So it kind of balances. Some places looks very long, like there are 5 options or 7 options, and out of that you have to pick up. And some places you find that they are very, very small, so it basically balances each other. Secondly, I would like to say that a new trend that has come is like which pairs are correct pairs, one pair or two pair. That's a new pattern where patterned questions have been asked. One thing which is very unique which has happened this year is that they are trying to see the people who are aware about the happenings around them or not. That is something which is very, very interesting, especially when you go for science tech questions, they are checking your awareness. But then awareness has to be seen from the perspective of the conceptual, especially when I talk about economy questions, those questions which have come as maybe apparently from economy perspective, but ultimately they end up going into the concept part of it. So if you want to solve questions on current, you have to be clear about static also. Map-based question, I must add here, once again back, and then a lot of questions who have been doing maps carefully, and they definitely would have an advantage. And they are matching simple questions that I would say. UPSC has maintained one trend where conceptual clarity it is checking, and there in that perspective, I would imagine when it comes to questions of economy, right from the beginning itself, so many questions I could see there, they were concept-based questions. Well, I would imagine that every year we would be having some questions which would be doubtful for us also. So we give questions like options are 2 options or something like that. Our accuracy has been more than 95%. I mean, that is probably one of the highest in the industry. You should not sit down and start matching your answers from multiple coaching institutes and ultimately to be surprised that, hey, this question which this institute gave as this is right answer, while UPSC in their own code, they are giving something else. Well, UPSC's accuracy is known only to UPSC. And every coaching institute would have some questions here and there, I can say with surety after spending 3 decades in the sector, would have some difficulty in interpretations of those questions which UPSC question setter has interpreted. In that light, I would say, please do not waste your time matching your answers with cutoffs and then worry too much about it. because it's going to take away your vital time of now. You should straightway, whatever your cutoff is coming, you should try getting into your mains mode. Maybe tonight you can take off, but then you should be getting back to your work for mains as soon as possible. KSG is also going to give you a detailed analysis of all the answers very soon, in few hours time. You'll be having that from us coming. And I would like to tell you that match those answers, but don't really bank too much on any key. Bank on your answers that you have done and straightway dive into your mains, and I'm sure while you're preparing for mains, you would be getting a good result ultimately, and that is going to be very important. I would sincerely request you, get back to mains, start preparing, and I'm sure whatever that you have done and whatever UPSC has done, nobody has got any idea about. And then it is better that you concentrate on the task ahead. And I would wish you all a very big success, and I'm sure you would be able to clear this examination, and hope to see you in your mains preparation. My best wishes are with you. Thank you.